Rochelle, for welcoming me into this webinar today. For some of us, it's still afternoon, and for others, it might be the evening. Well, I know we would not be here if it wasn't for ESGI, so I want to stop and, on behalf of all of us, just thank ESGI for bringing us together. They are the real reason why we are here today. And as Rochelle stated, my name is Leanna Wolkis Goldstein. I live in Arizona. I teach kindergarten in the Paradise Valley School District at Fireside Elementary School, and this is around my 28th, 29th year teaching kindergarten. I just absolutely love everything there is to hear and to learn and to know about the job. And it's been an honor to be invited to share this month's June webinar. Well, how neat it was when Kristen and her team from ESGI reached out to me and said that they were thinking of creating a self-care webinar. If you didn't know, just to cover some little housekeeping items about self-care, it's just a way for you to give back to yourself. It's a release of all of the daily pressures that you go through and that you hear and that you see. It's anything that helps you reflect and process stress. That all can be self-care. I invite you to take some time to pause and breathe and calm your mind while we're here together. This was a perfect time to think about our self-care. A lot of us are on summer vacation. Some of us are just about to be finished teaching this year. And what could be better than to take some time to enjoy our summer more while instilling some of these self-care practices? Yes, raise your hand, don't be shy. Did you feel like this between the months of March and possibly still right now? Yeah, a little overwhelmed, a little nervous, just not really knowing what our future holds for us. Well, what better time than to have a self-care webinar than now, because hopefully you'll be receiving some of the best self-care practices, tips, and activities today that you can take back into your school for your upcoming school year. Well, what I did today was I went ahead and I organized our time together into the essential areas of self-care. Our first area I'd like us to begin with is physical self-care. And before I continue on, I just want to invite you. I know a lot of you are like me and you like to have a notepad or a pen, a special notebook that you take notes in when you're attending some type of a webinar or some type of a workshop. Maybe you have a calendar, a special calendar that you'd like to take some notes in and jot down some ideas or some dates when you might do these things. And then also, I'm going to invite you to grab a Q-tip. And if you're not near your bathroom or your medicine cabinet, maybe shout out to your significant other or your best little child and ask them if they could grab a Q-tip for you. But without further ado, sit back, relax, grab yourself a yummy tasting beverage, your most cozy blanket, kick off your shoes, lock yourself into your self-care room, and let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to challenge you to feel like you can find at least 5 things you're going to place into your self-care schedule for the summer and take into the school year. Well, instead of thinking, exercise, get moving, take a swim, go for a hike, go horseback riding, take a dance class, find a sport you enjoy. Maybe it's yoga, maybe you enjoy running, just get moving. Let your heart sing. Maybe you like to sing in the shower. I know I do. I also love to listen to music in the shower. Maybe you're one of those beautiful musicians that sings in the car. Put your music on. Find the best music for your mood and just let it go. Did you know that Go Noodle is not just for kids? It's also for us, adults, the big people. I have found 3 channels that I thoroughly enjoy using. The first one, flow. It's all full of mindfulness exercises where you can relax, you can think positive, and flow with these exercises. Maybe you're more of the empower tool friend. Maybe you're interested in watching powerful videos that will help strengthen your body and your mind. Or possibly the Think About It channel is the one you're going to click on because you're interested in thinking, reflecting, and setting positive intentions for your day. If you do not have a GoDoodle account, I highly suggest you signing up for one. It's free, it's wonderful, and what's stopping you? Breathing activities. These are my favorites. Rainbow breathing. If you could take your pointer finger and pretend like you're tracing the arch in a rainbow. As you're tracing up one arch, you're inhaling. As you trace down the arch, you're exhaling. Let's try it together. Ready? Inhale up. Exhale down. Try the orange ray. Inhale up. Exhale down. And you would keep going until you finish all of the colors in your rainbow. That was an idea I learned from the Calm Classroom. One of the best ideas I learned was from my sweet friend Cassie Stevens, and I invite you to go to her Instagram site and her YouTube videos that she has to watch her as she goes through the process of teaching the students all about calming. You're going to really enjoy watching her go through the strategy and teaching small people all about calming themselves down for something upcoming. We can use this too as an adult. We can calm ourselves down to prepare us for something upsetting or some news we might be receiving. What about the 5-finger breathing? Hold up your 5 fingers. Take the index finger on your opposite hand. As you trace up the side of one finger, inhale. Exhale down the opposite side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. That was from the parent self-care. Or how about the focus ball? Join your fingers together, touching at your fingertips. Spread your fingers apart wide. Then collapse. As you spread them and open your ball, you're inhaling. As you collapse your ball, you're exhaling. How many of those exercises do you think you could find using inside your day? Maybe when you wake up, while you're in the shower, driving to work, before you pick up your kids? How many of you received and were able to get your 8 hours of sleep in last night? I'm not sure if I was, I'll have to count them up, but sleep is super important when we're thinking about self-care tips. We need to make sure that we're resting. It's okay to take a nap. Find a time in your day, or maybe even it's not planned. Maybe you're just feeling tired, lethargic. You need to just take a break. You might be getting into a bad mood. Just stop what you're doing, put it off to the side, set a timer and take a nap. It'll help you reset. It'll help you feel centered, more calm. It'll rejuvenate you. And if you're feeling a little restless at night, I would suggest using a weighted blanket. I've heard great results from friends and families and even children that use weighted blankets. And I know one of the questions someone asked was, what kinds of self-care strategies can we do even if we have children? And I want to share with you that all throughout our webinar tonight, I'm going to be weaving answers in and out through our slides to answer some of your questions. Then I'll take some time at the end as well. So these are great things to do along with your children. There's no reason that you can't practice these strategies and these self-care habits with the children in your house, your significant other, even your pets can learn some of these habits. Well, how many of you volunteer? Raise your hand. Maybe it's at the food bank. Our family volunteers on Christmas morning. We pass out food to the homeless, and we also pass out gifts and treasures to the children. Have you taken some time to teach a class at the Boys and Girls Club? What about take part in Meals on Wheels, or even set aside some time on a Saturday to read a story at a local library. It'll help you feel like you have some purpose in your life. It'll boost your self-esteem. And what could be better for our self-care than feeling good about ourselves, having some peace of mind, having something that lifts our spirits up? Well, hydrate time. Did you know that you should drink 1 full glass of water when you wake up before eating any food? Did you hear that? 1 full glass of water when you wake up before any food. It will hydrate you, energize you, and also make sure you're eating healthy treats, healthy snacks, healthy fruits and vegetables, taking your vitamins. Eating well will help you feel nourished. So everyone, cheers to you. Cheers to a self-care summer and a self-care sweet school year. Hobbies. Show me your jazz hands if you have some hobbies. How many of you like to knit or bake, cook, write? Maybe this week's the week to try a new recipe. Maybe every Saturday you're going to swim and do some water aerobics. Maybe every Wednesday it's new recipe night. You invite your family in to try a new recipe and everyone gets to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5 on the napkin. Just spend some time being creative. Maybe it's painting. I've seen my friend Cassie, she just painted her flower pots. Another friend of mine was doing some water painting and water painting flowers. You don't need to be an artist to let your creative juices flow. Something I love to do is garden. Did you know that watering plants relieves a lot of negative energy? It helps train your mind to think positively because as you're watering each of your plants, it's reminding you things are living. I'm living. Things are growing. I'm growing. Things are thriving. I'm thriving. So go outside. Find something to plant. Pick something. Go for a walk. Are there any wildflowers growing in any areas you feel comfortable picking from? Or just go out and buy some the next time you're at the grocery store. Well, let's move into emotional self-care. Do you remember those happy playlists you used to create in high school or college, or maybe you're still creating them? Do you remember listening to that kind of music, all of the memories that would come about, the thoughts you would think, the friends that you cherished while listening to that music and going for a drive to the high school football game or to the park for lunch, or driving even to school and getting yourselves pumped and motivated for the start of the day? Well, playlists can also be very personal. I would love to invite you to listen to some sound meditation. I've learned a lot about sound meditation and sound baths, and someone that I love spending time listening to that's been very healing has been the Magnolia Meditation site on Instagram. Also, maybe on your cable network, you have the Soundscapes channel. I know that when I come home, I love to put the Soundscapes channel on, light a candle or turn on my diffuser, and I do different things throughout my night or throughout my day while this music is playing in the background. It's such great sensory self-care to listen to soothing music. And sensory self-care is another important area for our essential elements, and I've woven it in to our other areas. How about pampering? A lot of people think that self-care is just that. It's just pampering. Well, I have some new learned information I'd love to share with you from my friend Babbling Abby. I learned from her last week that self-care is a discipline. It's not an indulgence, and she learned that from Tammy Foreman from pathforward.org. So I really appreciated hearing that, thinking about it as a discipline. It's not an indulgence, but this part is kind of an indulgence. It's a time when you're going to do some extra things for yourself that might be in that category. Take a bubble bath. My friend April, she loves her bath bombs, her special bath salts. And she's so excited when her son sends them to her in the mail. She can't wait to take a bath. All of those great feelings. She has fun thoughts about her son and kindness that overwhelms her mind as she's taking her bath, which then helps her stay centered and calm and practice not thinking that negative energy. So she's working on her growth mindset. What about doing a face mask? Setting up a spa day in your house and just giving yourself a manicure and pedicure. I did that for myself. I gave myself a little manicure, put on some relaxing music, and just did something nice for me. Have you had a chance to get a blowout on your hair? Take time. Don't blow out your own hair. Go somewhere. Have someone treat you to the luxurious products and the great smelling aromatherapy as they do your hair for you. And then make some special plans to meet up with someone afterwards. But definitely treat yourself. Everyone deserves a sweet treat. What is yours? Is it chocolate? Is it caramels? Maybe putting together a new outfit. My mom always tells me, you don't need to buy one more outfit. Just go into your closet, pull out a skirt, a little cami, some type of a sweater, and pull together a new outfit that you never even knew you had. Or how about setting aside some time on your calendar or on your schedule for a long, hot shower? I choose to take my showers at night. No one else needs the shower. I've got it all to myself. I put on some calming music. I love aromatherapy. One of my favorites is a bath gel from Bath and Body Works, and it's called Sleep. It helps me think and have thoughts that I'm going to sleep better. And also special hand soaps. How many of you just love the smell of a good soap that you're about to use? Have you invited kindness into your life yet? I suggest that you make time for that as well. Hugs are so good. A lot of us haven't been out of the house, so let's give ourselves our own personal hug. Start by crossing your arms, squeezing and massaging your shoulders, rubbing that down your bicep, rubbing across your elbows. Give it a nice little gentle massage, rubbing down your forearms, around your hands, your fingers. That's a little self-hug that you can give to yourself every day that you deserve. You deserve self-love. Follow your heart. Find the peace in your heart. Change that negative self-talk and replace it with positive self-talk. Instead of saying, I have to do this, say, I get to. In the morning, I get to go to the grocery store. I can't wait to see what fresh produce they have out for me. Identify your feelings. Stop and think, I'm feeling a little anxious or sad. Allow time with that. Gosh, why am I feeling so sad right now? Where is this coming from? And then accept it. All right, I'm sad. Now what can I do about it? Listen to something that will put a positive spin on it. Talk to a friend that might help me feel better. Mood elevators. How many of you are doing a safe elevation of your moods? Well, using an oil diffuser is one of my favorites. I use it in my classroom. I use it at home. I put all kinds of essential oils that I mix into my oil diffuser. My latest and favorite is mixing 5 drops of lemon, 1 drop of peppermint, and 2 drops of frankincense. And that is just a positive mood booster, a positive mood booster. What could be better than that? Smelling something that smells great, enjoying walking past that room that has that scent, and making time for yourself to spend and soak up that energy. What about enjoying some chamomile tea? I happen to have some right here. I think I might try a sip of that. Chamomile tea. What about a special mug? Do you ever look at your mug to see what it says? Wake up and be awesome. Okay, don't mind if I do. I think I'll take another sip and maybe that will make me even more awesome. Whatever it takes to train our brain to build a type of a positive focus so that we are boosting our growth mindset. And my favorite, besides burning some yummy scented candles, is walking barefoot in the grass and feeling those thick blades of wet grass on my feet, or putting my feet and rubbing my toes into the sand and feeling the warmth there. Such a great way of getting in some sensory self-care. Well, teachers, we love fidgets. I know we do. Everyone give a whoop woo if you love fidgets in your classroom. Well, fidgets are important for teachers too. And what would be better than having a pinch me therapy fidget? This is from Bernice. She got me this, and it's relaxation in a pinch. Merging relaxation with aromatherapy. What could be better? This encourages your mind. It helps you focus on relaxation. You're replenishing your soul. You're rejuvenating yourself as you're mushing and mixing and stretching the dough apart. You're able to go through feelings and relax from your day. How about nature? I have a lot of friends that just love everything there is about nature. So get outside. Give yourself some more sensory self-care. We all know how important it is to get sunshine. We even take vitamins for that vitamin D for that sense. Get some fresh air. Listen to the nature sounds. First thing in the morning, I really enjoy hearing the birds chirping. I like to watch the sunset at the end of the night. I gravitate to wherever I hear running water. How many of you have taken a chance while we were under quarantine to do some camping? Maybe you don't have a location nearby to camp. Maybe you just camp in your backyard, or you hike to a special location. I would encourage you tonight, when we're finished with our webinar, sit down with the people you love and look up on the internet a great place to take a hike to or to camp out in. Find that special location, put it on your calendar, and set it into action. Give yourself something to look forward to. That will help boost your self-care. And then cuddle with a pet or bond with a special animal. For me, it's the little bunnies that I see hopping through my secret garden. What about comforting objects? This is my comforting citron stone that I picked out at Miraval. And I've been learning so much about pebble meditation, and I'm so grateful to learn from Thich Nhat Hanh in his book, A Handful of Quiet. If you don't have this book, this is one you want to add to your collection. It's all about pebble meditation. I'm a big believer in things I can hold, like worry stones or rubbing rocks, wishing stones, anything that can help release and relieve stress, increase my concentration, nourish any gratitude I'm feeling, and it's perfect to help kids with any difficult emotions they might be feeling. How about some mantras? That was one of the questions one of my friends reached out and asked about, was what kind of mantras I could share for reducing stress. So why don't we talk about that one first? A great mantra from stress I learned about from an author and psychologist in New York. Their name is T and Dayton, and this is what they had to share. Make a mental gratitude list. Go ahead and close your eyes. Make a mental gratitude list. Recognize that appreciation and gratitude water the different aspects of our lives, and what that water and what we water and feed grows. Listen to that again. What we water and feed grows. Now, here's some other helpful stress-reducing mantras. With every breath, I feel myself relaxing. Say that to yourself. With every breath, I feel myself relaxing. All experiences are helping me grow. Try that. All experiences are helping me grow. Those were shared in the book, My Pocket Mantras. How about some I am statements? I've put up a few on my pocket chart for us to see and to be a part of my intentional space that I've created. I am statements, they're a list of things that you would like to have, do, and be. So this is what I'm putting into practice. My self-care is worth making time for. That is my positive affirmation. But my I am statement, I am calm. I am courageous. I am love. What could yours be? Positivity is a choice. I am smart. I am self-confident. How about this one? Close your eyes and listen to this mantra for positive self-talk. I choose to be blissfully happy and healthy in mind, body, and spirit. Are you setting up a way to acknowledge something positive from the start of your day and the finish? What about washing your hands? We have been doing so much hand washing, but how about create your mantra for while you're washing your hands? Here's one that I wrote for myself. I choose to let go of negative self-chatter. I choose not to take things personally. I control my thoughts. I would repeat that 3 times, which would be enough time for safely washing all the germs down the drain. What are some positive mantras or self-affirmations that you could put into place? Have you been filling your cup? Are you embracing the stillness? Take some time to read a good book. Maybe sign up for your daily chirp. This is something that I receive every day from the Natural Life website. They send me a daily chirp every morning, and it's always a special mantra or something positive or a beautiful saying, just to help me kick off my day on the best foot and continue moving through my day with positive thinking in my brain. I suggest you sign up maybe for your daily chirp. Find and make the time. Add some humor to your day. I recently signed up for a joke a day. Every day, I've subscribed to receive a joke in my email. Sometimes they're hilarious, other times not so funny. Anything you can do to get yourself laughing. What about taking 10 minutes to do nothing? Getting dressed up or dressed down? Phoning a friend? Or taking the time to write down a list of things you need to release from your life. Do something out of the ordinary. Splash in the puddle. Change your routine. If you always walk out of your neighborhood to the right, walk out of your neighborhood to the left. And always, always surround yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with the people that bring the sunshine into your life. Okay. Here's our moment we've been waiting for to pull out our Q-tip. Does everybody have their Q-tip out? If you don't have one yet, I'm going to give you 1 second to grab your Q-tip. I want to thank Debbie Bull for this idea. This Q-tip, you're going to keep one in your pocket, one in your backpack. You're going to keep one next to your bed, one in your craft room, one on your desk, because having this Q-tip is going to remind you, it's going to be an anchor reminder that you are going to quit taking it personally. How many of you have your self-care changed, all of your habits, your feelings, your growth mindset, because you take everything personally? Well, not anymore. Think of our Q-tip. Put that in your pocket, and anytime you need a friendly reminder to quit taking personally, you're going to rub your finger over that Q-tip and just know it's out of your control. There's nothing else you can do. How about moving into and shifting into social or relational self-care? It's about you first. Make time for yourself. Know that you are enough. Create a balanced schedule. Remember when I showed you the calendars? Maybe you print out your school calendar and you add some washi tape, or maybe you have this fancy little Hallmark calendar that fits right into your purse or into your wallet or your back pocket. Well, on this calendar, start building in some me time. Maybe wake up 15 minutes before everyone else does in your house to get organized. Set some boundaries. Did you know saying no is a complete sentence? Throughout your day, set a timer so that you know when to take a break in between activities, actions, work, jobs that you're doing. Also, most importantly, limit your screen time. A break from social media and the news is the best thing we can do for our social care, for our self-care right now. Anything that will help our self-care is what we want to be focusing on. Well, this is a perfect time to talk even more about self-care, and I can't thank ESGI enough for letting me focus on my self-care, because they're taking a lot of the tasks and the jobs I used to have to do myself off of my plate. So because of ESGI, they saved me time. I don't have to locate assessments in my filing cabinets anymore. I'm not waiting behind several friends on the copy machine. I have now over 1,000 preloaded assessments that I can do at any time, anywhere around my building, one-on-one with my students with just an iPad or my computer. 2 more ways ESGI helps you save time and reach your self-care goals. Well, you don't need to create parent explanations anymore when you're sending home assessments. They have personalized letters they've created for you and practice cards that offer your students individual support, not just at school, but also at home. And if that wasn't enough, and those weren't enough reasons to fall in love with ESGI, well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Scoot close. You won't have to test and grade test anymore, so no more scoring your own tests. ESGI scores your tests for you. And not only that, they have fantastic and beautiful charts, graphs, and reports. Now you are more efficient with your data collection, and you can share that as a parent communication or in your meetings, STAT meetings, IEP meetings, and even use in your report card. If you haven't signed up for ESGI yet, I would love to share my promo code with you. You would just want to use the code WONDER. Well, how about accountability partners? My husband is great at this. Mr. Russell, he has reached out to some friends, Lee and Jeffrey, and they are his accountability partners. He checks in with them, just like my check-in buddy is Kristen in our mindful class. It's someone you can work out with or exercise together, someone you can build a bond and talk things out with them. They use their Apple Watch. There's an activity app on the Apple Watch that they use that helps them keep in touch and talk about how they're doing, how many calories they've burned. They can even cheer each other on to finish 1 more mile on their bike. I've also seen friends being accountability partners on Instagram stories. There's so many sweeties that are meeting in their garage with their box fan and their Instagramming their workouts together. What about driveway dining? How about bringing a card table and some chairs to your neighbor's house and everyone setting up in their driveway, eating dinner and just talking while social distancing? Or better yet, porch parking. Maybe you want to drive somewhere. Everyone pulls into a parking lot, backs their cars into each other, opens up their hutch of their car, and then they sit with blankets and a little snack and they get to catch up. Or if you don't want to head out, Zoom and WebEx work out perfectly too. I've loved using WebEx and Zoom. My teammates and I, we've already been using happy hour on WebEx and Zoom on Thursdays and Fridays. We get together, we look forward to it, we're excited to have a little bit of peace of mind, not talk about work and talk about some other special things, and maybe even have a lunch date on WebEx or celebrate a holiday on Zoom. We just celebrated Passover with my family, or learn how to do a TikTok video with some friends, work out, or better yet, have a birthday bash. There's so many children having birthdays without huge parties. Why not set up a Zoom party or do a drive-by? But stay connected. It's so important. It's a great thing to practice in your self-care. It's creating a habit of staying connected with people, your friends, your family, neighbors, loved ones, maybe even reconnecting with an old friend, someone from your temple or your church congregation. Have you joined a bridge or bunko group, maybe Mahjong, Zumba exercise group, bar, or a walking group? Reach out to those people. How are they doing? Keep in contact with them. Show them that you care. That will make your heart feel good and in turn be wonderful for your self-care. What about striking up a conversation? Are you a good conversationalist? This is a great way to socially connect. On your way to checking your mail, at the grocery store picking out produce, at the coffee shop with your barista. Have a conversation with them. Say hello, look up and smile. Compliment the grocer on the firm and red looking tomatoes. Say the coffee shop barista's name and ask them how their week's been going. Get to know them. While you're waiting in line at the post office, strike up a conversation with them. Tell them where your package is going to. Maybe they'll share where theirs is going. Or join a club. You never know where you're going to make some new friends. Maybe it's a walking club or a book club. My friends Dee Dee and Jose and Holly have created a book club, and their book club is on white fragility. And maybe you're wanting to join a Facebook group or a discussion group. Maybe you like to play pickleball or golf or volleyball. There are leagues and clubs for those. Or maybe you just register for a class of interest. Several different websites that you could go to find out more about this: Meetup, Nextdoor, Active, and Meet the Neighbors. Those are places where you can find out about activities going on in your neighborhood or other things that your neighbors are up to. But just get out and go. Do some mindful walking. Notice while you're walking, which of your 5 senses are you using? What do you see while you're walking? What do you feel? How do your feet feel when you pick them up and lay them down on the floor? How do your hips feel as you walk? What are you hearing? What are you smelling? Is someone barbecuing? Or maybe just go out for a date night or have some fun with friends. Go for a drive, go house hunting. Maybe there's an outdoor shopping center you enjoy just doing window watching. Be one with nature. And one of my favorites, just treating yourself to Hawaiian snow. Do you have something favorite you love to get out and drive to treat yourself to? Also, plan. Maybe sometime this week, plan with your family a weekend getaway, a staycation, some type of vacation in the mountains or at the lake. Go tubing down the river, or my favorite, just spending some quality time at the beach, listening to the water. Do you have a membership to a local museum? What about an amusement park? Take advantage of that. Find something to put on your calendar to look forward to each week or twice a month that becomes a habit. And going out to lunch with friends. Well, I know we all love participating in random acts of kindness. When's the last time you gave up your seat? Have you given an unexpected compliment to anyone lately? What about letting someone cut in front of you? Or paying for the person behind? Or volunteering to read a story? Have you seen the little free library boxes people are building in their neighborhoods? I've seen them in Laguna. This one's beautiful. It's filled with books that people can enjoy and even some canned foods that might help some others. Now let's shift to the most powerful. What's in our head? Mental, mindful, psychological self-care. How many of you journal? Maybe you do some self-reflection journaling. Maybe it's thinking journals that you like to work in. Maybe you have a gratitude journal. Whatever it is, and whatever you choose to use and to create in your new normal, start your day with it. Start your day with just 2 words. Thank you. Thank you. Write down 2 things you're grateful for and 1 thing you are looking forward to. And always, because of the teacher in us, use fun tools to add a layer of novelty. These are two amazing journals that my sweet friend April treated to me as a gift to help me with my self-care. One, Good Days Start with Gratitude journal. It's a way to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. And the other one, Present, Not Perfect, a journal for slowing down, letting go, and loving who you are. These are two I would recommend. And then always make sure you have some fun pens. Of course, I have my ESGI pen here. Wouldn't leave without it. A highlighter, some sticky notes, and some special stickers that will keep you motivated. How about your personal practice? All right, sit back and think. How well are you working on your personal practice? Are you giving yourself some moments of mindfulness? Did you know that studies have shown that practicing for at least 1% of your day can drastically change the other 99%? Well, what are you waiting for? We need to get out and do this 1% of our day. It's easy. One thing that I'm doing, Kristen and I, we are so thankful to our PTO. They have provided us an opportunity to take a class with the Mindful Schools. If you have not heard of them, here is their information at mindfulschools.org. It is wonderful. We are learning so much about practicing mindfulness and learning about the foundation of the skills. I would love for you to maybe dive into some more of that for yourself. Mindfulness and meditation. How many times are you taking meditations that have been helpful for you, things that you've learned, and implementing them into your own life? Taking maybe a phrase or a saying or a sentence from a meditation that was helpful to you and jotting it down on a piece of paper and using it in your own practice. I learned about a lot of tips that will help with mental health at Miraval. Miraval is a special place. If you haven't heard of it, I would love for you to look into it. I think it's very beneficial for everybody, can get something out of this place. It's a mindfulness environment. It is a health and wellness spa. It is a place where you can go to get in tune with yourself, to train your mind to think positively, to get into your well-being. And some apps that I love to use, and a lot of these apps I use as a practice to help me when I am slowing down at the end of the night and I am looking for some bedtime relaxing practices. I would use the Calm app. That is something that I have on my phone, and at any time I can go onto the Calm app and I can listen to music. I can click on different meditations. Some are just that one day, some last for several days. I can also look at imagery that relaxes me. I can do body scans on Calm, and I also love using Calm in my classroom. They have meditations that are perfect for all age groups, so I invite you to download Calm and use that app in your life and in your self-care practice. Womaze is the other app that I absolutely love. It was designed by a family, 3 daughters and their mother. It is your personal toolbox. It's going to help you, give you the necessary strategies, tools, and skills to help you be successful with self-care, mindfulness, relaxation, body awareness, and self. And then also inviting you to do a body scan. This is something we learned that we're adding into our personal practice habits for self-care, my family and I, from what we learned at Miraval, and it was body scanning, and we're learning about it as well in the Mindful Schools. But it's talking about starting the morning off in bed, and without even getting out of bed, you say hello and good morning to your toes. You wiggle your toes and welcome toes, good morning. Hello all 10 toes, or however many. Hello 8 toes. Thank you so much for walking me to the bathroom when I need to leave bed, or for getting me up off of the kitchen chair and walking me over to the sink to do dishes. Moving up your body. Good morning, legs. Thank you for helping me bend and easily get into my bed and out of bed. Good morning, torso and stomach. Thank you for helping me enjoy that delicious dinner I had last night and helping me digest it. But you would work all the way up your body, feeling grateful, and then you would get out of your bed. Notice that didn't include checking Instagram or your phone, which I know that we're all guilty of doing. How about a serenity space? Some of you who follow me on Instagram have seen that I have created a Zen zone at our house. We started off distant learning with our house getting painted. So I didn't have a spring break. I pretty much stayed home getting our house in order for it to have an entire outside refacing done with painting. So we emptied everything off of our balconies and cleaned everything up, and we decluttered. That was another question someone had asked. I do believe in decluttering. I think organization is key. I think getting organized tubs to store things and label them is huge, and then moving them out of the way and putting them somewhere. I also think having an intentional space somewhere that's going to be sacred for you can be for your whole family. You can take turns going in there. Everyone can go in there at the same time, but there might be some rules that might take place, that there might not be talking or movement. We might not bring food into this area or any technology, that kind of thing. But at school, we create a safe place and a mindful mountain. Why not create something at home? Something to give us a space to have some quiet time, a space for us to check in with ourselves, to find that calm, to practice those breathing techniques that we talked about, to spend some time meditating. Remember, when we're meditating, we need to say it, write it, feel it over and over and over again for it to become a habit. We're going to relax. We're going to grow this growth mindset. And one of my favorites is guided imagery. It leads you into thinking about, imagining, or picturing in your mind. I use this a lot in my classroom, and I use it at home as well. I'll do it on my computer or on our TV screen. But I'll find these on YouTube. I just Google crackling fireplace. Not only does it pull up a moving fireplace, but it also plays relaxing ambient music, which what could be better than that, especially if you don't have your own fireplace or it's too hot to light a fire. What about a beautiful falling heavy snow with the best relaxing meditation music, or one that my students and my family love, underwater ambiance? My friends at Slumberkins have really helped us build our emotional well-being with their collection. They are designed to promote early emotional learning at slumberkins.com. Well, they sent us this amazing mindful mountain filled with the feels and the story, and it came with this positive affirmation that we learned and we took internally, and we think about all of the time, and we start and we end our day with it. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just listen. I slow down and am calm. I sit very still. I take deep breaths, relax, and chill. And that was said by the Yeti in the story. Slumberkins has wonderful stories. They all focus on a different piece of emotional and social learning, which is something huge that we're going to need to put a big focus on, especially with this upcoming year. Here is one of my friends discussing his feelings.
Worried is your favorite? What would you do if one of your friends was feeling worried? How could you help them?
I'd give them a hug.
You could give them one of those. What else could you do or say?
I would say it would be
So you could hear my friend, he was holding the feel that's the worried feel. Every feel is a different feeling, and it says the name of the feeling on the actual stuffed animal. So he chose worried as a feeling that stood out to him, and he wanted to share that if ever a friend in our wonderland was feeling worried, he would give them a hug and he would say it will be okay. Here you can see the mindful mountain that we built in my Wolkis Wonderland at school. It is what our safe place is. It's a place where my students can go at any time throughout the day. They turn the timer over. They grab one of the feels that shares their thoughts and how they're feeling at the time. They sit back on the rug and lean on the pillow, get comfortable and relax, and they start to create a peace of mind. They're working on their health and wellness, their self-regulation, how to get them through this situation that's going on in class, and then how to get them to move back into their learning that's taking place. My friends can go in there by themselves, or they can bring a friend in with them. There's also breathing exercises that they can do in there. There's photo albums with pictures of their family inside there. And then there's other books that talk about social and emotional learning that are super helpful, like Wimberly Worried, or The Volcano Mouth. That was the one I was trying to think of. That's one of their favorites, and they love to use that vocabulary. I think he's having a volcano mouth right now. And here you can see my students that are actually practicing the mindful mountain pose. So not only do I practice yoga in my own life, and that's become a self-care habit for me, but it's also become a self-care habit for my students too. So inspiration. Where are you finding some of that inspiration, or where are you getting some of that inspiration from? What inspires you? I encourage you to sit down tonight and with your journal, think, who inspires you? Where do you get inspiration from? Write that down, or search out some friends that already have some people that they do get inspiration from. And what about inspirational stories? Maybe you heard a story, you read a story, someone shared a story with you, and that was super inspiring to you, and you're taking little messages and little keepsakes and putting them into your heart or into your mind so that they energize you and you can think about them on a daily basis. But what about tidying up? I seem to get a lot of inspiration from just cleaning things up. I've decided over this distance learning time and throughout our quarantine that I would clean out my closet, I would clean out my craft room. We're pretty much cleaning out our entire house. You might have seen I posted at the beginning of our distance learning the welcome to my house, because I was showing you all the craziness going on. Well, that in turn has opened up some clarity for me. It's bringing about some wellness. I know some people were asking in the questions about what they do to relieve stress, and that all about the clutter and organizing and that kind of thing. I really do feel like we need to do what Marie Kondo suggests and just pull everything out. And maybe you're putting it in categories as you're pulling it out, and then you take time going through it. And everything goes into a pile. It's either a love it and I'm keeping it pile, it's a goodwill pile, or it's share with your mama pile, because you know your mom loves all your things. So don't give them away unless your mom has seen them first and she's told you she doesn't need them, like them, or won't use them. Okay? That'll help you feel better. You'll have a more open environment, more space to put things, and rearrange. I've spent a lot of my time rearranging my craft room. It did not look like this before March. So this space is bringing a lot of healthy self-care into my life. It brings me a good focus on feeling good. So I feel good when I'm in here. I can feel present. I'm not surrounded by clutter, that kind of thing. What about escaping? Everyone deserves to escape responsibilities. Maybe you might get on Amazon tonight and look at hammocks that you can install in your backyard. Maybe you're going to sneak into your children's toy chest and get out a coloring book and start coloring while you're watching your favorite show. Maybe tonight you invite the whole family into creating a self-care habit, and it's stargazing. You lay a blanket on the driveway and you lay down, and everyone's watching the stars as you're eating popcorn and listening to some music on your phone. Maybe it's looking through photo albums. Maybe you love to make cards or scrapbook. Or some of us, Kristen and I, we love to watch Lifetime or the Hallmark channels. We binge watch those TV shows. Maybe it's a virtual reality headset that you're wearing. Those are known to take you from the place that you are at the time and bring you into a place of imagination. Our last section we will focus on is intellectual self-care. So I'm going to invite you just to do a real quick brain break. Go ahead and take your fingers. Go ahead and rub your earlobes. And then start at the top of your ears and unroll your earlobes all the way down to the bottom of your ear. And this time, close your eyes, practice your breathing. Unroll the flesh on the top of your ears. Go all the way down to the base of your earlobe. Give it a gentle tug. All right. For our intellectual self-care today, we're going to talk a lot about boosting our brain. That's so very important. Do you have a place in your house, a low table, where you can set up some puzzles, and maybe every month you purchase a new puzzle that you and your family create? What about playing some mind games? There are some great mind games on my website, Wolkis Wonders. I'd love to invite you to check that out. You can find some mind games that are great for kids and good for adults. How about listening to a podcast? My friends Adam and Dee Dee have a podcast, the Classroom Collaborative podcast. I invite you to join them. That could be a good piece of inspiration for you. What about watching instructional videos? Right now, I've been watching videos on how to make pom-poms and documentaries. We can learn a lot from documentaries. Right now, Mr. Russell and I, we have been watching a lot of food documentaries. How to stay healthy, how to eat clean. I challenge you to think differently. Maybe it's learn a new language. In our district, you can apply to certain schools that offer a second language, like Mandarin. Maybe you're interested in looking online and involving yourself in learning a new language. Or how about taking a course on something that interests you? Maybe it's something that has to do with growing your professional practice. Maybe it has nothing to do with that at all. I know a lot of us heal through reading. That would be your bibliotherapy, reading to achieve wellness. Are there some stories, some self-help books, like Girl Wash Your Face or Chicken Soup for the Soul, that you get a lot of good inspiration, some great feelings that you can now instill in your life and put into practice? One of my favorite magazines is called Mindful. That's a great magazine that I've been learning some wonderful strategies, some great practices, and they've been sharing some wonderful resources as well. Well, I want all of us right now to just stop. Stop for a second. Take a deep breath. Notice your mindset. This time together in our webinar, you've had a lot of opportunity to refocus your thoughts, your mindset, maybe even create some different thoughts or change the way you're feeling about self-care. Well, why not go a step further and share these practices with our students? Why not teach children about self-care? Let's start this at the beginning of the school year this year. Here's a little fun fact for you. Did you know that it takes at least 18 days to form a new habit, an average of 66 days for that habit to become automatic? That's from Healthline magazine. 18 days. Well, we have that time right now before school starts up to really focus on a work-life balance. How to set a schedule for each day during our week so that we can balance out our day, maybe even incorporate some self-care and some mindfulness into our school day, and then leave work at an appropriate time, know that the work will still be there, and go home and practice some additional self-care habits and strategies. Well, it's harder to create a habit than it is to maintain it. We know that. So the earlier kids and adults start practicing self-care healthy habits, the more likely it can turn into a strategy that they will use to manage life's natural daily events. So why not start now? Start with yourself. Think about at least 5 things that maybe you wrote down tonight. Without self-care, before you joined me today, you might have been feeling like this. Hair full of grays, worry and doubt all over your face, a pit in your stomach. Well, no longer. With self-care, you will feel calm. You will be more mindful. You can safely express emotions. You can invite other wonderful things into your life now that you have time to accept that positivity. Well, I'm going to take a couple more seconds just to share some answers to some questions. One of the questions was, how can we make self-care a team effort and help each other at school? I love that. So here's how we can do it. Everybody at lunch, bring your lesson plan book with you every day to lunch, or pick 3 days out of the week. As you eat and you chat, you plan. So it's like a chat and chew. You're chatting about what you're planning throughout the week. You're eating something yummy, which boosts those endorphins. You're getting things done. Also, have a teammate play some music in the background to boost that energy. Maybe set up some jobs, delegate things, have a teammate that's copying things, have a teammate that's popping the popcorn, have a teammate that's finding a website that goes along with learning about Africa that week. Delegate the jobs. Make time to practice some sweet self-care habits. Back posture. If you're feeling like you're having trouble with your posture, I suggest you using an ice pack or heat. Maybe rolling up a towel, rolling up a blanket or a towel, or using a noodle or a pool noodle and putting it behind you as you're leaning against a chair or your couch or a seat. Raising a table up so you can stand for a little bit and work. Putting some books on top of the table, putting your computer on top of that so you can work and stand at the same time. Also, when you're resting, put a pillow between your legs. Exercise, get some movement therapy. Doesn't that sound good? I encourage all of you, when we get off of this session together, get some movement therapy in. Where's it going to be? Is it going to be walking down your stairs to the refrigerator to get a fudgesicle? Well, then make that your movement therapy. Some of us think about acupuncture, Reiki, and I learned about some of these ideas in the Healthy Women magazine. Finding the time. I would start small, little pieces. Start with 5 minutes. There are several 5-minute meditations that you can watch, and then you can move into 15-minute or 30-minute meditations. Sometimes maybe sneak away or set your children up. Give them some activities, a game, a puzzle, a little snack, and then tell them, guys, I'm setting the timer. Mom or dad, sister or brother are going into my self-care station. And when the timer goes off, you may join me. Okay, we never want kids to feel like they're not welcome or they need to stay away. So just let them know, I'm working on myself right now. You guys work on having some fun. Then we'll join each other when the buzzer goes off. Come up with a fun place to meet as a family. We're meeting out back by the jungle gym when the timer goes off. Then they're not curious about what you're doing. They do their own thing, you do your own. I know that we've been locked down, some of us for 3 weeks straight, some of us for 2 months straight. It cannot be good for us socially or emotionally. So what could be better than putting on some of that background music, rubbing on some of the oils, putting something beautiful in front of us, a mantra that's helpful, that brings good emotions to us, that builds our growth mindset. And then transfer that into your classroom. Write the mantra on a sentence strip, stick it above your desk. Put this in your pocket, wear an apron and put it in your pocket and carry it around with me. Write it on a sticky note and stick it to your whiteboard or your rocking chair so you're constantly reminded of this. If you're feeling worried and you're feeling anxious, what are 3 words that can guide you through that? I choose to let go of negative self-chatter. Maybe you're going to tell yourself that. How do I make time for myself? I'm not perfect at it. Sometimes I do. I set my clock on my phone and I say, I'm going to give myself 15 minutes to listen to this meditation. I always know I'm going to fall asleep probably at the end. So when my timer goes off, I wake up from my nap and then I go back to my computer work that I have to do. It's so important to start small and to feed little pieces of this into your life to create that balance. A balance between work and play. Something I would do for that is I would set up help stations with my parents. I would have every Monday a parent helper comes and helps me set up stations. Every Wednesday is copy day. I do not leave school until all my copies are made for the following week. You know that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm eating lunch with my teammates, and we are planning and plugging in little activities to go along with our units that we're doing. I'm going to set a time for myself during the school year. Maybe it's 4:15. When I come back after dropping my kids off, I Clorox wipe the tables off. I make sure my book's on the easel that I want to read first thing in the morning, or my morning message is written. My timer is set. When 5:15 hits or 4:30, I leave. I leave everything right where it is. I thank myself, just like Marie Kondo says with your clothing, say thank you. I loved wearing you out on Friday nights to the Empire. We had so much fun. I'm ready to let someone else have fun with you now. Say that to your classroom. Classroom, Wolkis Wonderland, it's been great. Thank you for helping me be successful today. My kids learned so much. You created a safe place for us. I'm ready to go. Good night. I'll see you in the morning. This one I thought was really important. Sorry, emotional. Here we go. When we got to that emotional self-care, I should have said, teachers, you got it down pat. Sensitivity and emotions. That's when I think of one of my principals in his underwear. All right. Now, most important, and then I think I might stop after this. A friend of mine said that they attended a self-care workshop and there hasn't really been follow through after. Guess what? It's not up to our principal. It's not up to a program. It's not up to money. It's up to you, yourself, me, myself, and I. It's up to myself. How am I going to continue creating self-care habits and mindfulness in myself, and then spill that out and pour it out into my students and my community, my families, my teammates? You know, I want to be a great teammate for them as well. So I think it's important, find what works for you. If you know that taking 5 minutes out of your day to have the kids sit in circle and turn the lights down and everyone holds an object, a mindful object, or a talking piece, then you would pass that around and share. I am feeling safe in this space because I care about myself, because I am happy with myself, because, and have them pass that all the way around. Find little pieces. Maybe it's putting music on in your room. Maybe it's dimming your lights. Maybe it's bringing plants into your environment that are going to help with your self-care. Maybe it's rearranging the tables, having them low. Maybe it's getting rid of the tables altogether. What is it going to be that's going to help you feel like you're focusing on feeling good, which is in turn helping you be a good teacher, which is enabling all of your students to learn all of these great practices that they can in turn practice on their own when they're with you, when they're not with you, and that they can even share with their families too. So if you'd like to follow me, something I do a lot of work on is on Instagram. You can find me as Wolkis Wonderland there. And I have a website. It's called Wolkis Wonders. Basically, if you just Google Wolkis Wonderland or Wolkis Wonders, some things will pop up and you can join me and keep in touch with me. And I look forward to continuing on this journey of self-care with you. I hope that you keep in contact with me on a daily basis, or at least through the week, so we can share some more positivity with each other. And I can't thank ESGI enough for noticing the importance in self-care and how genuine ESGI has been in finding things with their professional development that are so powerful and so helpful for teachers in making this world a better place, and in turn fostering independence in teachers to be strong and the leaders that our kids need us to be. So ESGI, thank you for everything. I cannot talk highly enough about you. You have made such a difference in my life. You have created some peaceful moments with my students. You have created some happy celebrations with the things that I get to print out from you, and now giving us this hour of time just to focus on ourselves and to create some healthy habits to put in place to make us feel successful going into next year. We're really not sure what it's going to look like. So Rochelle, thank you for sharing this floor with me. All of my friends and new friends that have joined me, my best friend, my families, my parents, I thank you.